So that is it. Here, if you want to score 350 in your OET examination for listening, you have to do these tasks. Number one, transcription. Every day you have to do one transcription. Okay. Second one, you have to attend the reading sessions. Yes, if possible, please attend the reading sessions. Why? What is the connection between reading and listening? Reading is text and listening is audio, and you can convert any audio into text. So there is no difference. The only thing is that one is audible and one is not audible. That's the only thing. So try to attend all the classes for reading as well. That means the 12 p.m. session and the 9:15 p.m. session. You have to. Okay. And reading plus all the mentioned practices. Mention practice you have to complete. And the fourth and the last one is equally important, that is sample papers. Please write it down somewhere on your notebook, and please make sure that you complete something around 30 to 40 transcriptions, okay? And all the reading sessions if possible, and mention practices around 30 to 40 mention practice if it is possible. And sample papers, I will not ask you to do so many, but at least a minimum of 20 sample papers. That is equal to 350 in reading. We will be 100% sure. And I have said what is to be said. Now it is your turn to believe it or, dismiss it. Please, I know that you will not dismiss it. I know you will be taking it very seriously. So please make sure you have done 40 transcriptions before the exam. You have attended most of the reading sessions and mention practice at least 30 to 40 and sample papers 20 in the minimum. Only then you can go to the examination hall. If you can also do something like, if you can get something around 50,000 points from our website, that will be the best way. So altogether, you will have a great happy time when you get ready for the result. Okay, and I'm not going to permit anybody. I'm not going to permit anybody to write the examination without doing all these things. Please do not book your examination without this one. It is so shocking for me that my students fail in reading and listening. So with all these methods, it is impossible that you can fail anymore. You are not supposed to. So 40 transcriptions, all reading tasks, sessions, mention practice 30 to 40, sample papers 20 minimum, and if possible, 50,000, not 5,000, 50,000 points from the website. You will be getting B for sure. Okay, that's it. Anybody having any question to me? All right, we are going to continue this session. So finally, how many of you got 30, a minimum of 30 out of 34? Will you please raise your hand once again? 30 minimum out of 34. Yes, there are only 11 of you who did this one. Okay. So as usual, to improve your listening, we have one more task. Please listen to this one. It will not take more than 5 minutes, maybe less than 5 minutes it will take. Let's listen to the audio, the original audio.
New Alzheimer's drug slows disease by a third. We could be entering.
1 second. Is it audible to you?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please increase the volume on your side, please. Please increase the volume to the maximum and try again. And if it is not audible to more than, just tell me how many of you are not able to clear it very clearly, very distinctively. Please raise your hands. Others, please put your hands down. Others, please put your hands down. All right. So I'm going to play it again.
The era of Alzheimer's treatments after the second drug in under a year has been shown to slow the disease.
Is it almost audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anybody not able to listen? Luby and Siji are not able to listen. No,
No,
only
sir,
one.
I am.
Okay. Siji, you too?
Okay. Okay.
You can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can.
You can. Okay, fine. All right. Now listen, let's read it once. Read it as the audio progresses.
New Alzheimer's drug slows disease by a third. We could be entering the era of Alzheimer's treatments after the second drug in under a year has been shown to slow the disease. Experts said we were now on the cusp of drugs being available, something that had recently seemed impossible. The company Eli Lilly has reported its drug donanemab slows the pace of Alzheimer's by about a third. However, 2 volunteers and possibly a third died as a result of dangerous swelling in the brain. Donanemab works in the same way as lecanemab, which created headlines around the world when it was proven to slow the disease. Both are antibodies like those the body makes to attack viruses. But these are engineered to clear a sticky gunk from the brain called beta amyloid. Amyloid builds up in the spaces between brain cells, forming distinctive plaques that are one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's. The decades-long battle to find treatments that change Alzheimer's disease is changing, Dr. Kath Mummery, the clinical lead for the Cognitive Disorders Clinic at the UK's National Hospital for Neurology and Neurosurgery, said. We are now entering the time of disease modification, where we might realistically hope to treat and maintain someone with Alzheimer's disease with long-term disease management rather than palliative and supportive care. Although Eli Lilly's trial details are yet to be published, the company has revealed the key findings. 1,734 people in the earliest stages of Alzheimer's took part to whom donanemab was given as a monthly infusion until the distinctive plaques in the brain were gone. The pace of the disease was slowed by about 29% overall and by 35% in a set of patients from whom the researchers expected more likely responses. Those given the drug also retained more of their day-to-day lives, such as being able to discuss current events, drive, or pursue hobbies. However, brain swelling was a common side effect in up to a third of patients. It was mostly mild or asymptomatic despite being detected on brain scans, but 1.6% developed dangerous brain swelling, with 2 deaths directly attributed to it and a third volunteer dying after such a case. Here is what Eli Lilly Group Vice President of Neuroscience Research and Development, Dr. Mark Minton, says. We are encouraged by the potential clinical benefits that donanemab may provide, although like many effective treatments for debilitating and fatal diseases, there are associated risks that may be serious and life-threatening. The company said it would begin the process of having its drug approved for use in hospitals in the next few months.
All right, that was it. So I think it gave you a time to understand your mistakes and the words that you were not able to understand. So this will always help you. And this is known as transcription. This text is known as transcript. Okay, so you understand the importance of writing transcript. So whenever you write transcript, there will be a problem. You won't be
We are
able.
encouraged by the potential clinical benefits that donanemab may provide.
Okay, sorry about it. Okay, all right. Okay, fine. So, so this will really help you a lot. Now we have to move to the next ones that are. Come to the next one that are here. Yes, the era of Alzheimer's treatment is promising and dramatic. Dramatic means something that is happening unexpectedly and suddenly, and promising means, yeah, it is really optimistic or giving hope. So is this mentioned or not mentioned according to the audio? Promising and dramatic. Somebody please speak. The era of Alzheimer's treatments is promising and dramatic. Anybody wants to answer?
Not mentioned.
The era of Alzheimer's treatment is promising and dramatic. Anybody thinking it is mentioned? It is promising and dramatic. Actually, this is mentioned here. It is promising and dramatic because it happened suddenly. Like earlier, there were some kind of inventions and developments, but this one suddenly happened. This one suddenly happened. That is dramatic. And there is a line here. You can look at this one. If you look at this one, that had recently seemed impossible. That had recently seemed impossible. Even recently also, it was seemed impossible. But now suddenly a lot of changes happened. So that is dramatic. So dramatic is okay here. The word dramatic is perfectly all right. Let me just place it somewhere close to that. So it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, it is to be here. Okay, now look at this. Okay, now look at this one. So this first one is promising and dramatic. Why did we say dramatic is correct? Because earlier it seemed impossible earlier, but now it is possible. So when something was impossible in the past and now suddenly happening and impossible, that means it is dramatic. Now, what is promising here? What is promising here? Altogether, if you understand the entire audio, altogether, this is really promising. Why? Because although 3 people died in association with this treatment and this trial, there is a huge, recovery level for this one. How do you know it's a huge one? It says very clearly somewhere that, what is that? Saying that 21% something, yeah. Here you can see 29% to 35% recovery was there out of this many people. So that is also mentioned here. This is why I think this is promising and dramatic. I hope it is clear to you. We have to go to the next one. If you feel something is wrong, you can come forward and you can argue with me positively. Come on, you can come forward. Okay, 2 drugs have been tested in the last 10 years. 2 drugs have been tested in the last 10 years. Can we say this is mentioned? Why everybody is silent today?
Not mentioned. Not mentioned.
Not mentioned.
Yeah, even this is, yeah, this is not mentioned because 2 drugs have been tested in the last 10 years. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Which are the 2 medicines here? One is this one and the other one is this one.
Donanemab and
Yeah.
lecanemab.
Yeah, the other one is lecanemab. Okay, lecanemab. I don't know how it is to be pronounced. Okay, where is it mentioned? Last 10 years or is it many years? Here you can see. One second. Where was it? It is, yeah. The decades-long battle to find treatments that change Alzheimer's disease. Decades long. Look at this one, please. It's not decade long, it is decades. More than 10 years. 1 decade is equal to 10 years, and decades long does not mean just 10 years only. So 2 drugs have been tested in the last 10 years is not mentioned anywhere directly or indirectly. Okay, now going to the next one. Donanemab has been tested without any fatality. Is it mentioned?
Not mentioned. There
Even-
was the
Yeah,
fatality.
because
1/3 is that.
yeah, 2 people died directly and 1 person died. Can be most probably that also can be associated with that. So fatality is there. So without fatality is completely not mentioned. Swelling in the brain is one of the fatal complications the trials have faced. One of the fatal complications. One of the. That means there were other complications also.
Because they are mentioning only one complication.
Only one is mentioned here. So how can we say swelling in the brain is one of the fatal complications? When you say it is one of the fatal complications, it means there were other complications also. Did you see anywhere throughout the audio?
They didn't mention about other complication, no?
So there is no mention of any other complications, right?
Yes, sir. Because they are in the
Yeah.
testing, they only saw the brain swelling.
Only there is no other mention. Can anybody find out any other complications? throughout the audio? So I tell you, once again, I tell you, this is why mention practice is the backbone of your training in reading and listening. So what happens here? What is really happening? You are going so deep into the sentence. You're going so deep into the sentence, and you will not commit any mistake when you go for the examination. But the only thing is you have to do as many mention practices as possible. Okay, so swelling in the brain is, suppose brain is, swelling in the brain is the only fatal complication the trials have faced. In that way, it is much correct. But this one of that does not mean correctly, because, like, for example, when I say Hazel Mariam is one of the participants, means there are other participants also. See, there are 28 participants now. When I say Gina and Julie are two of the participants, it means there are more than Gina and Julie. Suppose there are only two people, one is Gina and one is Julie. No, nobody else is there in the class. Okay, myself, Gina, and Julie. Okay, three people are there in the class, and I am the trainer, and Gina and Julie are the trainer. The students. So Gina is one of the participants. That's also completely fine. But if Gina is the only participant in the class, I can never say that one of my participants, Gina. No, that's not possible. So the participant was very happy after the class. Okay, so then, or I can say, if there are two people, one of the participants, comma, Gina was very excited after the class. Okay, this is how we use one of the. Remember this. That's the reason why you say in speaking, in OET speaking, good morning, I am one of the registered nurses. Remember, I am one of the registered nurses. How may I assist you? Okay, this question is asked because of this one, because you work in a hospital where other nurses are also working. Okay, all right, okay. We don't know, maybe one day OET will give you a tricky question. You work in a clinic and you are the only nurse, and a nurse a patient is coming to you, then complete the task. So if you are the only nurse in that hospital, will you say in the meeting part, good morning, I am one of the nurses? Will you say? No.
I'm on duty nurse today. You can say like that, sir.
Correct. Okay. So actually what happens is we have learned so many things by heart. Okay. By hearting may sometimes create a problem, not sometimes, mostly it will create a problem. And OET is very good at, detecting who has just by hearted and who has just, by brained. All right. There's no word like by brained. I just made it now. Okay, fine. So we are moving to the next one. The fourth one. Swelling in the brain is one of the fatal complications. Yeah, so one of the is making the problem here. Therefore, this is not mentioned. Okay, donanemab is more effective than its predecessor, lisanemab. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, yeah. Can we say this is correct?
They didn't compare the two.
No, same way.
There is no comparison.
There's no comparison.
Works in the same way as.
Works in the same way.
All right, both of them are antibodies. We understand. Then, okay, then if the latest one, which is donanemab, is not better than the other one, why is there such a hype? If the recent one is not better than the previous one, why is it becoming a news now? Or one more thing, why should scientists and doctors and researchers spend a lot of money and time on another medicine if the previous medicine is okay?
It's mentioned that it slows the pace of Alzheimer's by a third.
Well, okay, a third, but we have no idea whether
That means it is better than lisanemab is better. Donanemab is better than lisanemab.
Okay, but
it is working.
Fine, very good. But does it mention that lisanemab was less than this much? Is it mentioned anywhere? We don't know the effectiveness of lisanemab, so there is no direct comparison. But once we apply our common sense, if lisanemab was okay, then why did they go for donanemab? And If this is not better than the previous one, why is it becoming a news? Okay, I think you are getting my point. Okay, so fifth one, donanemab is more effective than its predecessor. Okay, fine. You may, most of you will disagree with me. Even I don't want to agree with this one. There is no comparison directly, but there is an indirect comparison. Can somebody show any other indications of
After
comparison
the
here?
in the first paragraph, after the second drug is under
Yeah.
drug has
Yeah.
been shown to slow the disease. It is after the second drug has come, the disease has slowed
Okay.
slowed
After the
down.
second drug in under a year. Under a year means within a year.
Within a year,
Yeah.
second drug has come, which the second drug, it's they are telling that second drug has slowed the disease.
Okay, that
So
means
this is somewhat indirect comparison. between them.
indirectly there is a comparison. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it says also about that donanemab works in the same way as lecanemab.
It is just telling the action. It works
Yeah, that is
just
only
like
the
this
correct.
action. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean that it is effective. Doesn't
Yeah.
compare the effectiveness. It just
Yeah.
compares the action, way it acts.
Very good. Okay, I understand this one. Okay, the action or the mode of action that the medicine is going to affect in the body will be the same thing, just like any other antibody does. But effectiveness, on the basis of effectiveness, this one is a better one. Okay, actually, this is a very weak thread. This one is a very weak thread. If you argue with this one that this is mentioned or not mentioned, it is very difficult to. Okay, but we can understand one thing. Sometimes in OET, not sometimes, many times in OET, they will give you two correct answers. And in this case, both of them are almost correct answers. So, but one is, we can say one is 99% correct, the other one is 100% correct. Or one is 99% correct, the other one is 98% correct. So in such cases, we have to give more weightage for the one that is more correct. So in this case, indirectly, I have to agree with this one, is more effective than its predecessor. If it is not more effective, then why is there a hype? Why is it a news? Why does it say that new Alzheimer's drug slows disease by a third? So, for example, you are writing OET. In the first examination, in writing you got 350, and in the second exam, in writing you got 340. Do you think the second exam will become a news, or the first exam will become a news? The first has to become a news in this case, especially if you're a doctor or if you're going anywhere out other than UK. Okay, so here, otherwise this will not become a news. So indirectly we can say the fifth one is mentioned. Oh my God, I don't know how many of you will agree with me. I know you all agree with me, but of course, even I too don't agree with this completely. But indirectly, using common sense, using all the background details and the indirect way of logical thinking, we can say that this is mentioned. Okay, because OET is not something like a 5th class or 10th class in the school. They will be only giving you questions like 10 plus 10 is 20. This kind of questions will come up to class 10. But later on, you are highly above those levels. OET is very intelligent examination, so we have to be. Okay, now, sixth one, beta amyloid is a sticky gunk. You have seen that.
It's mentioned, sir.
It is mentioned, right? We can say it is mentioned, yeah. And amyloids are plaques. Are they plaques or do they create plaques? Do they form plaques?
Create.
They are not plaques, but actually they are helping the formation of, they form plaques. Yeah. So when you say they are plaques, definitely this is not mentioned. Okay. So this is cause and effect kind of questions. This is a cause and effect kind of questions. Amyloids are not plaques. They are only helping with the formation of plaques in the interstices of the brain cells. You know that. Okay. Plaques are remarkable for Alzheimer's disease. Are they remarkable?
It says that are one of the
It's mentioned,
hallmarks
sir.
of Alzheimer's.
Yeah, one second. Somebody,
No,
sorry, but
one
what
of-
did
One of the
It says
hallmarks
that-
of Alzheimer's.
Yeah, so it is remarkable. Okay, the quest to find treatment for Alzheimer's is a decade long. Is a decade long? Okay, is a decade long? Is it correct? A quest means, what is meaning of quest? Search.
Search.
Yeah, to find treatment for Alzheimer's is a decade long. Is it a 10-year-old quest, or is it more than 10-year-old? It says decades long is mentioned here. So it is more than 1 decade. So that's it. Okay. So when we discuss this in this way, you will understand the sentences more accurately, and you will have less chances of committing a mistake in the OET examination. So this one is also not mentioned. It is not just 10 years, it is more than 10 years. Coming to the last one, disease modification is slightly different from cure and palliation. Slightly different. Slightly different. It is also mentioned. I think many of you wanted to say it is mentioned. Disease modification is not same as others. Cure is like 100%. Palliation is something different one. Modification is something different one. All of them are slightly different in these cases. Understand this one. I hope it is almost clear to you. Okay. So if you did not understand this one, the 10th one, this is modification is slightly different. I will show you how to understand that one. Yeah, this is modification is slightly, this is modification coming here. Yeah, we are now entering the time of disease modification, where we might realistically hope to treat and maintain. Okay, maintain. Modification is like maintaining someone with Alzheimer's disease with a long-term disease management rather than palliative and supportive care. Palliative is coming here, it is not palliation. Okay, and then cure, there is no cure here. When you are doing some modification, it is not cure. Cure is 100% cure, and Alzheimer's disease cannot be cured, okay, completely. And so this is the reason why we have the word is slightly different from cure and palliation. So because of this, we can say that the last one is mentioned here. Okay, I hope it was somehow useful for you. And now we have to move to the next one. So out of these 10 questions, how many of you got at least 8? Will you please raise your hands? Those who got 8 out of 10, please raise your hands. This is a very clear indication that you need to undergo more and more changes in your reading and listening. Please understand, because problem is your way of thinking is different from my way of thinking, and my way of thinking is different from Alfia's way of thinking. Everybody is thinking in a different way according to your age and maturity, your experience in the world, your knowledge, your education, all these things together, that level will increase. So only 4 people have been able to get 8 out of 10. So you have to work hard. Do you have any disagreement with any of the answers which I gave you? All right. So we have to go to the next areas. Grammar. We are going to the grammar part now. Get ready for the grammar. Sorry. There will be just 10 more questions, and you have to get complete 10 out of 10. You have to score. This is very important, and this is passive voice. I'm sure, 100% sure that 90% of you will be getting full score for this one. Let's start. 35. You can write the answers on the question paper, on your notebook. You can start. Please write down the answers and raise your hands when you complete the 10 questions. Sorry, the spelling of scent is wrong. S-E-N-T. The 39th one is very, very interesting, very adventurous, and very difficult. Please complete and raise your hands. I think some of the questions are a little tough, others are okay. And there are 10 questions, and I want you to score almost 8 out of 10. Beginners, you may not be able to do all of them, but existing members who have studied for at least 1 month, you will be able to score 8 minimum. Please raise your hands after this. If anybody wants any help, the easiest way to convert into past tense, passive voice is nurses infused what? You have to ask a question what? Then you will get a new medicine. So you will start with a new medicine. Okay. They maintained what? They maintained something. What? A good distance. Okay. Okay, fine. So I'm not discussing the answers. Okay, I'm giving time for everybody. The doctors performed what? So start from what? They send what? A letter. So start from a letter. Okay. Nobody did what? Anything. Okay. They asked, yeah, they asked whom? They asked whom? Her. Okay. So this will be the starting point. So her will become she. Okay. 3 of the nurses have brought whom? Yes. So that will be, this will be the starting point. This will be the starting point. Nobody cleans what? The floors. Very easy. Someone could have helped whom? Mr. John. The cat on the ledge broke what? The glass. So you can always start from here. This is a starting point. And if there is any have or has, just check whether there is any have or something. Can you see any have here? No. So in the answer also, there will be no have or has. Someone could have helped. There's a have here. So the answer also may have a. Nobody cleans. There is no have or has. So there will be no have or has in the answer also. Have is there in this one. So the answer also will be having a have or has. Okay. And not simply have or has been or has been will be there. So please complete now. Please complete and raise your hands, everybody.
The meaning of the ledge.
Ledge is a, what to say, ledge is something like, I don't know how to explain that one. Ledge is, okay, 1 second. I will just show that on Google. No, ledge is, how to define ledge, I don't know. It is an architectural area of the building which is close to the window or sometimes of the door. Oh, I don't know how to explain that. Ledge. You can see that on the Google, okay? Ledge is part of the window. Ledge is part of the window where you can keep something. Okay. Okay. We can call it, I mean, window pane. Some people call it a window pane also. Please complete and raise your hands, everybody. Write anything, write any answer. Don't wait for the correct answers only. You can write incorrect answers also. Please complete. We will start the discussion when 20 of you have completed. Please do fast. (16 out of 29). Just waiting for 4 more participants, please. Too fast. Okay. Here are the last questions for you. So altogether we have 50 questions today. Please complete all of them. Please complete all the 50 and then you can raise your hand. Please raise your hands, everybody.
So ledge mean like self-like things where we can keep things like that only.
Yeah, really. It's something like a half wall, right? Yeah. Actually, I just read this word somewhere many years ago, maybe while reading a novel or a book or something. I just guessed this could be the answer, but I was not very sure about the exact meaning of that. But I know ledge is something like, there are so many ledges. Even I have just kept my mobile phone on a ledge now. Yes. Yes, those who have completed, we will start the discussion when 20 of you have raised the hands. My request to all of you, please don't book your examination in a hurry. Your husband will ask you to book, your mother will say, your father will say, your parents will say, so many people will ask you, and some relatives will also say, aren't you booking your exam? You have been studying for 3 months or 5 months. They will simply taunt you. Just don't listen to them because they don't want you to pass. All right, okay. So just listen to me and book your examination only when you are completely fine. And if you have written examination at least once, most of you will fail in the first exam because of the tension and unnecessary but unavoidable stress that you have. It is a fact. Okay, so if you have written the first examination, be happy because in the second exam, you will have a high chance of passing. All right, 19 out of 29. We are going to discuss, let's start. So the class will be over within 10 minutes. And here we go. Nurses infused a new medicine. A new medicine was infused. We don't have to write by the nurses because we know that is usually done by nurses. And even if it is not done by nurses, it is okay. Nurses infused a new medicine. A new medicine was infused. That is the right answer. They maintained a good distance from the patient. A good distance from the patient was maintained is the correct one. A good distance from the patient was maintained. Some of you may have written a good distance from the patient was maintained. A good distance was maintained from the patient. Okay, a good distance was maintained from the patient is okay, but the best one is a good distance from the patient was maintained is the best answer. Both of them are okay. 2 doctors performed the surgery under emergency. The surgery was performed under emergency. We don't worry about who. 2 doctors, 3 doctors, 5 doctors. Okay, because it is almost understood by everybody. But if you say President Putin and Narendra Modi performed the surgery under emergency, we have to say the surgery was performed under emergency by President Putin and Narendra Modi. In that case, we have to write. Why? Because they usually don't do this work. All right. So then we can write. Otherwise, when the agent is known, when the doer is known, or we can guess who did it, we don't have to mention by whom. Okay, they sent a letter to the headquarters of the hospital complaining of the frequent power cuts in the hospital. Okay, a letter was sent to the headquarters of the hospital complaining of the frequent power cuts. That's enough. In the hospital is not required. Okay, fine. Once again, they sent what? A letter. A letter was sent to the headquarters of the hospital complaining of the frequent power cuts. Okay. Nobody did anything in the last 3 hours. Anybody wants to give the answer?
Nothing was done in the last 3 hours.
Done in the last 3 hours.
Nobody did anything. Anything and anything and nobody becomes nothing. Okay. Nothing was done in the last 3 hours. Yeah, nothing was done. Why was? Because there is a did here. So if it is like nobody has done anything, then nothing has been done will become there. But here it is did, therefore nothing was done in the last 3 hours. They asked her to show her certificates and passport. She was asked to show her certificates and passport. By them is not important at all. 3 of the nurses have brought Mr. Sam to the ward. Mr. Sam has been brought. Yeah. The reason is 3 of the nurses is plural. 3 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is singular. 3, 4, 5, 2. They're all plural. Okay. So 3 of the nurses have. Okay. Because 3 have. But Mr. Sam is singular and that is 1 person. So Mr. Sam has been brought to the ward. That's enough. Mr. Sam has been brought. Is there somebody here in this class who did not understand the 41st one? Nobody? That means everybody understood. Okay. 3 of the nurses have brought Mr. Sam to the ward. Answer is Mr. Sam has been brought to the ward. Why has for Sam and have for 3 nurses? Because it is like that. 1 has, 2 have, 3 and all the others have. That means 2 plus will be always, 2 and above will be always have, 1 and 0 will be always has. Remember that. Okay. Nobody cleans the floors.
The floors were not cleaned.
No, why were? Cleans is present tense.
The floors are not clean. The floors are not clean.
The floors are not cleaned. Correct. The floors are not cleaned. The floors are not cleaned. Why are? Because cleans is present tense. If it was like a cleaned, okay, nobody cleaned the floors, it will become the floors were not cleaned. Yeah, but here it is cleans. Cleans is present tense. Cleans is present tense. Okay, that's a very important one. Someone could have helped. I think I should spend just 2 minutes with you. Some of you may find this one very interesting. In English, there are 2 kinds of words. One family is known as I, we, you, and they. The other family is known as he, she, it. Do you know one thing? These 5 words. No, how many words? 7 words. These 7 words. With these 7 words, you can call anybody in the world. Yes, you can talk to anybody, or you can talk about anybody in the world with only these 7 words. I. There is only one I in the world. For me, I am the I. For Adi Lakshmi, she is the I. For Aditi Roy, I means just one person in the world. And we means we are all 29 students and one myself. We are the 29, we. And whenever I say you can be two kinds of you. Aditi, you have to study hard. That is only about Aditi. And when I say Benny, Diana, Apsara, Alfonso, you have to. So that means, you is not only singular, it is singular and plural. But I is always singular. Only one person can be referred with I. Okay, sorry, I. And we is always singular and plural. And they is, for me, for us, who are the they? What do you mean by they for us? Anybody other than myself and all the 29 of you. Anybody, like maybe your parents are they, even your kids are they for us. Okay, so they is also singular and plural, whereas he is always only one person, singular. She is always only one person, that is singular, and it is always one person, that is singular. Okay, so it means anything in the world, including a dog or the bacteria or the cells or anything, one singular person or a thing is always it. She means all the female, human beings, and yeah, of course, maybe a pet or something. And for all the male human beings are called he. So you understood this one. Did you know one thing? This can be called the S category. This is known as the S category. Why? Because they are all completely singular. This is completely S category, and this is known as, this is SP category, singular plural category. Okay, or we can call it, this is category number 1, this is category number 2. Okay, so whenever these words come, remember every word after this will have an S here. Why? For he has, S is here. She is, S is here. She does, S is here. He does, he goes, there is S. He was, there is yes everywhere. But you'll be so sad to know one thing. There'll be no yes for them. I have no yes. I had no yes. We were no yes. And you go, there is no yes. Okay, so everywhere you will see you went, there will be no yes at all in all these cases. That is a specialty of English language. So there are two kinds of families in English. One is the yes family and the non-yes family. Yes family means has, have, has, is, does, goes, comes, eats, everywhere there is an S. So remember this, don't commit a mistake hereafter. All right, we have to wind up this session. Nobody cleans the floors. Where are we? Yeah. Which number we were on?
43.
43, sir.
42 done.
Okay, 42 done. Okay. Someone could have helped Mr. John. Mr. John could have been helped by someone, or Mr. John could have been helped. That's the correct answer. Someone could have helped Mr. John becomes Mr. John could have. Some of you may be thinking, Mr. John is a singular person. Then how can we use have here? Whenever the words, these models, which are the models? Can, could, may, might, should, would, must. These are the models. Which are they? Models are can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must. These are the models. MODALS, modal verbs. After modal verbs, you can only use which one? The have only. We cannot use could, has, can, has. No, we have to always use this one. This is a special rule in English language, so be careful about that. Okay, someone could have helped Mr. John becomes Mr. John could have been helped by someone. Is once again,
Mr. John could have been helped.
correct. Yeah, Then the cat on the ledge broke the glasses. The glasses. Yeah.
They're broken by the
Where?
cat.
Yeah. The glasses.
Broken
Yeah. The glasses were broken by.
on the ledge.
Yeah.
The glasses on the ledge. were
Broken on the
by
ledge.
cat.
The cat on the ledge broke the glasses becomes the glasses were broken by the cat on the ledge. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. The cat was actually sitting on the ledge and it was a cat that broke the glasses. So the cat on the ledge broke the glasses becomes the glasses were broken by the cat on the ledge. Maybe the glasses also were placed on the ledge, but we are not concerned about that. Okay, so this is the answer for 44th one. The cat on the ledge broke the glasses. See, slowly you will understand the passive voice. Don't be in a hurry. Nobody should be in a hurry to know. Okay, like for example, somebody in the class is thinking, oh, it has been 1 month and today I have got only this much. So you have to take more time to understand passive voice. Okay, so how many of you got 10 out of 10 for this? Anybody got 10 out of 10? Anybody got 10 out of 10? 10 out of 10 is impossible. I don't want anybody to score that much. Anybody here? Yaha, there are a few.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good. That is amazing. That is exceptional. That is okay. So that is, we don't want that much. Okay.
No, sir, not 10.
All right. Okay. So how many of you got at least 8 out of 10? Please raise your hands. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. That's good to see. And the new members, please don't feel bad, okay? Because these people who are raising their hands now, very proudly and happily, they were also unhappy in the starting point. Okay, not all of them. Some of them came from English medium schools. Their case is a different one, but majority of them did not score well. Okay, so today you got, for example, one of you, like, for example, whom shall I name? Carrie, for example, Carrie or Mary, they got only 5 out of 10. But see, after a few days, after a week, maybe 2 weeks, your score also will come. But the only thing is that don't leave the class. All right. So we have got the last questions. This happens only in our hospital becomes past tense. This happened. This happens. Yeah, we only have to write ed, happened. This happened only in our hospital. She speaks whatever she thinks. She spoke whatever she thought. So she spoke whatever she thought. Yeah. He does all that for his family. He did all that for his family. This becomes did. Yeah. It does not matter to us. It did not matter to us. She has been admitted.
She had been.
Yeah. No other change is required. She had been admitted. He has got a temporary transfer.
He had got
a temporary transfer. Okay, this is what I want you to improve. So keep on improving your language, your reading, your listening and everything. And after this class, as usual, you'll be having one more listening task today. I'll be sharing the link from YouTube. You have to do this. And the next class will be at 9:15 as usual. I think most of you are attending the 9:15 class and those classes are beneficial also, I think. If you have any feedback about our classes, any of our classes, including mine or Vibina ma'am's or Rose, okay. So if you have any complaints, please let me know so that we can correct it. Okay, so that's the end of my class today. See you. All the best.
Sir.
Yeah. Okay. Come on.
In 46 sentence, there is I have to we have to make two past tense words like she spoke and she thought.
Yeah.
Is it mandatory?
Correct. Completely. Yeah. She spoke whatever she thought.
Yes, sir.
She spoke whatever she thought. Okay. In some cases, in certain situations, it can be different. She speaks whatever she thought is also fine. She spoke whatever she thinks is also right. But the best one is she spoke whatever she thought. Both past tense is fine. Any other question, please? I forgot to ask your questions?
No, sir. No, sir. Thank you. Sir.
Anybody else? Anybody else? I think the grammar class was not really boring. I think you enjoyed a little bit of grammar classes. All right. So see you then tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.